Well, let's face it, we are a nation under stress right now, and that can cause all kinds of tolls on the body. We'll be talking to a leading national expert next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is The Jeff Crilley Show.
I don't think I know anyone who isn't suffering from some kind of stress. Let's face it, when you watch TV these days, everything that's on the news is stressful. We probably all have undiagnosed PTSD from the pandemic, where we shut down the whole country and then expected everybody to just go along their day like nothing ever happened. To talk about that today, Alan Miner. He is the CEO and founder of Illumin8 Chiropractic. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Okay, so stress can play its way out in your body in all kinds of horrible ways.
Absolutely. Yeah, it manifests in a very long list of issues, and it's chronic in most people. I think last stat was something around 60% of Americans are now diagnosed with at least one diagnosable long-term chronic illness. It's directly linked to the 5 leading causes of death in the United States. So it's prevalent. Most people minimize it or numb it. And I think the biggest culprit, besides things like COVID, really come down to cell phones. Nobody really correlates cell phone usage with stress, but a well-designed cell phone app goes lower on your brainstem, which ignites the fight or flight stress response, which means you become addicted. You get a dopamine hit from it. And so as humans, we're designed to be in that fight or flight stress response for, a few minutes a week. We're now living in that most of our waking hours. And over time, that builds long-term chronic health issues related to that stress.
And you have a very successful company. We're going to pull the website up and scroll down the website. Let's talk about Illumin8 Chiropractic. You guys are in how many different markets right now?
We're in 2 markets. We're in New Mexico and we're here in Dallas, Texas.
Outstanding. And tell us why you got into this.
It was a passion for me. I had a life where I didn't really understand the concept of purpose. And when that was introduced to me, I had the question of, I realized I have a finance background and I just didn't love what I did. And I realized, all right, what's my purpose? And it took me a couple of years when I realized, I want to help people. I like the idea of doing it with my hands. And that's what led me to chiropractic. And I've been able to really find a rewarding career in helping people get their life back. And the beauty about chiropractic is, again, it's helping people really ignite what's inside of them so their body can express optimal health again, rather than like medicine, putting something in from the outside. There's a time and place for that. But that never really creates homeostasis and health inside the body. So it's been a purposeful, wonderful career. We've gotten to help a lot of people, and now our clinics really have a focus on serving kids and families who have a high value on health and wellness.
And we've got some just generic chiropractic video. I think there's always been this, you have the MDs and then you have the chiropractic. Is there a bias in the industry against chiropractic right now? What do you experience?
Like anything, but that's really left. We found most docs who maybe graduated in the last 15, 20 years have used, by and large, chiropractors, refer to chiropractors. We work with physicians in all of our clinics. A lot of families want to take a conservative approach to their health first, and so many different things respond well to chiropractic. That's why we take care of so many pregnant women and children, because a lot of parents know, have these medications been trusted for colic or ADHD? And a lot of times they haven't been studied. And so parents would like to try something that's effective, but that's conservative, and chiropractic checks those boxes.
Tell me, you don't have to name the patient, but tell me one of your favorite stories of somebody who was on pills and then started seeing you guys.
Yeah, we see them all the time. I mean, the most common is moms whose babies are having reflux, And so they go to the doctor and they put them on a reflex med, and somehow innately moms know their newborn infant, something's not right with that. And it's interesting how often that, those moms had maybe a difficult birth process, and so they had to use forceps or maybe a cesarean delivery where there's a lot of pulling on the child's neck. That can throw the body out of alignment and can also impact nerve supply into the gut, into the esophagus, impact acid production. And so, these parents that are just miserable for weeks on end because their baby's so uncomfortable, and all of a sudden a couple adjustments and their baby's sleeping through the night.
Wow.
And they're feeding better. And, that's a story that, we don't really know how that plays out other than this child now being at peace in their early days and months of life is probably going to have a very different life than a child whose body's immediately from the time they're in the world in a fight or flight stress response. We've also, though, had, we're chiropractors. We see cool stuff. And my favorite is we had a guy who had been through some serious cancer treatments who was infertile and told he'd never have kids because of the treatments. And we started chiropractic care, and he has 2 beautiful children now. And they really credit chiropractic to that. And what's interesting, I've got to be careful, chiropractic didn't treat infertility. It didn't treat the colic I talked about earlier. All we're doing is working with bringing the body back in alignment so the body can heal and repair and bring itself back to homeostasis. And so you can put all the supplements and medications in that you want. If the body doesn't know what to do with them, it's really hard to achieve health.
And you and I were talking before the show that sometimes even somebody's leg is half an inch longer than the other leg, and you're starting to overcompensate for it, and that can get your body out of alignment.
Absolutely. Your brain runs everything in your body. So if one leg looks shorter, it's usually that side of the body has hypertonicity or is spasming and contracting more. So that can translate into the weight being distributed funny in your hips, your pelvis, your shoulders, your neck. The easiest self-test to do at home is next time you hop out of the shower, close your eyes and shake out and nod your head up and down, and then feel like you're standing straight in front of the mirror, and then open your eyes. And you'll be shocked at what you see with rotation and high shoulders and hip rotation and the way you lean. And just like a car that's out of alignment, those tires wear out faster than normal. Same thing happens to a body. When things are out of alignment, knees, spinal joints, hips, shoulders wear out faster than they're designed to.
Yes, and I urge you to follow him on all his social media platforms. He comes up with these great tips. Here's one of them.
A secret to building an amazing team that goes really far, really fast is diversity. Obviously, when I say diversity, I'm talking about things such as age, race, ethnicity, religion. But there's another layer of diversity that makes really amazing teams, and it's behavioral makeup. Teams tend to hire the same people, but those are weak teams because there's holes in their ability to perform the tasks that your business needs to propel it forward. So the best teams are diverse. I'll explain it this simply. Just because you're an owner and you're outgoing and extroverted, don't make the mistake of hiring a whole bunch of other extroverts. You need other people that are introverted, that love the detail work, who love to get into the nitty-gritty. This is what makes a business healthy and strong.
Well, let's give you a chance to brag about your team. What kind of people do you attract?
Amazing. I have a team of A players, and that doesn't come easily because for a lot of years I didn't. And what I found is when you have excellence in what you're doing, in your standards, and you really want to bring in people that are better than you, which sometimes for a small business owner that's intimidating as an entrepreneur initially. But once you get over that hiccup and you realize, no, I need to find great people to help me, it's just amazing. I mean, the staff and team we have, the doctors on our team, the support team around them are world class, and we have a line of doctors who want to come work with us now because of the environment we've created. And that's really maybe one of my greatest accomplishments in business is the team that we're building and the level of service we're able to provide now because we're dealing with top caliber people.
And he's a serial entrepreneur. He probably created 3 other companies during this interview. But tell us about some of your other interests.
Oh, sure. Well, I have a lot. From a business standpoint, we love things that connect people. Mm-hmm. So we have a gin and a vodka company called Nickel. We have a couple staffing businesses where we love to help people find work that's purposeful and meaningful for them. My wife runs and operates a dance studio out of New Mexico, very high-level ballet studio.
Wow.
And then in my personal life, my son and I love to ride mountain bikes, love to work out. My passion's cooking. That's fun for me on a Saturday to be able to go to go to Whole Foods or a grocery and get really nice ingredients and make a good meal for my family.
Outstanding. Well, in the little time left, I know there are people watching this right now who probably say, he just described me in terms of these little aches and pains, and maybe they're taking a pain pill or two. What do you say to that person who says, I probably need to, see Alan?
Yeah, absolutely. Most people never had their spine and their central nervous system checked. You've had eyes, ears, skin, throat, breasts, colon, everything gets checked, but the most important system in your body is your spine, your central nervous system. For most people, that's been neglected, and it's fascinating when you're out of alignment how improving that, correcting that, can make absolutely impactful life changes very quickly, very easily, very non-invasively. So yeah, you need to get to a chiropractor. If you're in the Dallas area, Illumin8 Chiropractic is who we are, but anywhere in the country, chiropractors are trained to assess your posture, alignment, neurologically, how your body's functioning, and make those adjustments.
Outstanding. You've been a great guest. We're going to have you back again, and we'll leave everybody with the website, which is illuminatechiro.com. The great Alan Miner. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.